Some people claim Spinosaurus could take down a T-Rex in seconds. Others say the giant short-faced bear could crush a mammoth's skull with a single swipe. Don't fall for it. Today, we're counting down the most overrated giant beasts in Earth's entire history, and especially the last one. The reality is shockingly different. Number 10. Deinosuchus. Overrated rating. Length, about 10 meters. Weight, 6 to 7 tons. Its forelimbs carried enormous 1-meter-long claws. When people first see Deinosuchus, they often imagine it ripping prey to pieces. Movies and TV shows have further portrayed it as a savage apex predator, but if you look at its diet, it consisted entirely of leaves and plant roots. According to paleontological and biomechanical studies, those terrifying claws could withstand very little force. They simply weren't built for combat. They were actually used to pull down high branches and dig up vegetation for feeding. They weren't weapons at all. Interestingly, Deinosuchus belonged to the Manraptor group. This family produced some truly unusual evolutionary paths. Some evolved into birds, while others, like Deinosuchus, became fully herbivorous. Their claws evolved from killing tools into tools for gathering food. It was clumsy and slow, and when threatened, it could only wave its claws around to bluff and intimidate its enemies. A sheep in wolf's clothing that describes it perfectly. Number 9. Prehistoric. Overrated rating. Length around 8 to 9 meters. Shoulder height 5 meters. Weight 10 to 15 tons. It was the largest land mammal to ever exist. Most people assume that bigger means stronger, believing Prehistoric could easily intimidate and overpower every predator of its era. But there is virtually no evidence of it ever fighting. Research suggests it had a gentle temperament, was strictly herbivorous, and lacked sharp teeth, horns, or any other specialized weapons. Its massive body was slow and cumbersome, with a top running speed of less than 15 kilometers per hour. When danger appeared, it could only retreat slowly. With little ability to fight back, they relied on living in groups to reduce predation risk, and showed virtually no instinct for defending themselves or competing for territory. The larger a mammal becomes, the more food it requires. It reportedly needed to consume over 120 kilograms of vegetation every single day just to survive. As the climate cooled during the late Oligocene and vegetation declined sharply, its enormous size, once considered a gift, became a fatal weakness. Eventually, it went extinct due to food shortages. Its size was a gift, but it never became a true survival advantage. Number 8. Giant ground sloth. Overrated rating. It measured about 6 meters in length, and many believe it could stand toe-to-toe with prehistoric predators like Smilodon, but its diet consisted entirely of leaves and plants. Early researchers once speculated that giant ground sloths occasionally scavenged carrion, but later studies of toothware confirmed its teeth could only process plant fibers and were completely unable to chew meat or bone. Its curved claws were only suitable for pulling down branches. The structure of its claws could not support tearing or delivering serious damage. Its actual combat potential was extremely low. It was also slow and sluggish, with a top speed under 10 kilometers per hour on land. It had no way to fight back against predators. It could only rely on its massive body for basic intimidation. Its fierce appearance was nothing more than a huge misunderstanding from start to finish. Number 7. Deinosuchus. Overrated rating. For stars. Length around 7 to 8 meters. Weight 10 to 15 tons. Its lower jaw had a pair of downward curving tusks, a fierce appearance, and an intimidating presence. Because of those unique tusks, many people believe it was a highly aggressive prehistoric beast. They think the tusks were used to stab prey and defend against predators, but its combat record is still completely empty. Paleontological studies of proboscideans show Deinosuchus was calm and docile in nature, with no real predatory or fighting behavior. Those seemingly fearsome tusks curved downward at nearly a 70-degree angle, making forward stabbing attacks impossible. They were only used for pulling tree trunks and digging roots, essentially to specialized gardening tools. Its skull structure was weak under pressure, with almost no ability to fight back. Juveniles were especially vulnerable to predators. Its tusks were simply feeding adaptations, not weapons. Number 6. Terror bird. Overrated rating. For stars. They typically stood to 2-3 meters tall, weighing around 150 to 200 kilograms, with a bulky build and a massive, hardened beak. They looked extremely intimidating. Just from the name terror bird, many people assume they were apex predators, but isotope analysis and fossil evidence suggest their main diet actually consisted of nuts, fruits, and seeds. Their beak had an average bite force of only 800 newtons, Far from a killing weapon, they lack claws adapted for hunting, and their heavy beak could not perform tearing or piercing attacks. Against large predators, they were virtually helpless. Early science also mistakenly classified them as apex predators, but fossil analysis later overturned that view. They only looked terrifying, but were far weaker in reality. Number 5. Smilodon. Overrated rating. 4 stars. Typically 2 to 3 meters in length, weighing around 300 to 400 kilograms. Its longest canines reached up to 28 centimeters. With dense muscle and explosive power, those iconic saber teeth have long been seen as ultimate prehistoric killing weapons. Most people believe Smilodon could easily dominate and hunt large megafauna. Scientific research shows it had a critical weakness. Its canines were extremely fragile. Even slight lateral force or minor impact could break them. This made hunting extremely risky. Its tooth structure also limited its bite mechanics. It had to aim precisely at the prey's vulnerable neck area to strike. The margin for error was extremely small. Its bite force was far weaker than modern lions and tigers, only around 1,200 newtons. By comparison, a modern male lion of similar size can exert over 3,000 newtons of bite force. The performance gap is massive. Fossil evidence shows many Smilodon specimens had broken saber teeth. This proves its hunting success rate was not high. Its strength came from precise ambush attacks, not brute force domination. Number 4. Deinosuchus. Overrated rating. 4 stars. It measured around 8 to 10 meters in length, weight 4 to 6 tons, with a long snout filled with sharp teeth, a massive body, and thick, armored skin. Early estimates exaggerated its size up to 12 meters and 8 tons, even calling it a dinosaur killer. It was portrayed as the undisputed apex of freshwater ecosystems, but biomechanical studies and fossil ray evaluations show its bite force could reach 80,000 newtons. A truly powerful bite. However, its long, narrow snout was structurally fragile. It could not withstand twisting forces from struggling large dinosaurs, so it would never engage in direct confrontation with them. Stripping away exaggerations, its real size and weight were far lower than online claims. Its combat ability was therefore greatly reduced. Deinosuchus mainly preyed on fish, turtles, and small aquatic animals. It rarely attacked dinosaurs. The idea of it being a dinosaur-killing river monster is mostly cinematic and media exaggeration. Without the hype, it was simply a calm and efficient freshwater fish hunter. Number 3. Arctotherium South American Giant Short-Faced Bear. Overrated rating. 4 stars. Length about 3.6 meters. Standing height over 4 meters. Weight up to 1.8 tons. Sharp claws and teeth. Massive build. The largest bear in history. Its enormous size led to exaggerated claims online, such as it being able to crush a mammoth's skull with a single swipe. But mammoths were not easy prey either. Adult mammoths stood 3 meters tall at the shoulder and weighed 8 to 10 tons. Their skulls were short, high, and extremely thick. Biomechanical studies of ancient bears suggest a single paw strike from Arctotherium generated around 4,500 newtons. While impressive, it was nowhere near enough to shatter a mammoth skull. It was also extremely sluggish, with a top speed of only about 20 kilometers per hour. It rarely hunted large prey. It was a typical opportunistic feeder, relying on intimidation rather than hunting skill. It often stole kills from other predators, and also scavenged carrion and fruit. For it, hunting was too costly and inefficient. Stealing and scavenging was the optimal survival strategy. Its invincible giant bear image was mostly based on size alone, not real combat ability. Its massive body, 25 meters long and weighing 150 tons, led to it being portrayed as a sea-dominating, ultimate ocean monster with no rival. Later fossil measurements and studies proved its true size and weight were greatly overestimated. Adult individuals were only about 6 to 10 meters long, weighing around 8 to 10 tons, with a broad skull and sharp teeth. Its limbs evolved into powerful flippers. It could swim at an average speed of about 18 kilometers per hour, and was only suited for short-range ambush hunting. Its bite force was roughly 2,800 newtons. It mainly preyed on small to medium fish and cephalopods. It stood no chance against other large marine predators of its time. It never truly ruled the entire ocean. The invincible apex predator image in films was nothing more than a man-made myth, a bubble fantasy. Number 1. Spinosaurus. Overrated rating. 6 stars. Length about 12 to 18 meters. Weight 7 to 12 tons. A signature 2-meter-high sail on its back. A long, narrow, and delicate tail structure. In Jurassic Park 3, The scene where Spinosaurus kills a T-Rex became iconic, turning it into a legendary figure, often portrayed as the ultimate semi-aquatic or god. But paleontological studies show its hind limbs were highly specialized, short in length but robust in structure. Its short legs made it unable to run on land, while strong muscles supported swimming. Its teeth were conical, without serrations, similar to a crocodile, designed to grip slippery fish and shrimp, not to tear prey apart. Its bite force was only about 4,000 to 6,000 newtons, compared to Tyrannosaurus rex at 35,000 newtons, a massive gap. Its lower jaw could expand like a throat pouch, helping it swallow small fish. Dense bones, a paddle-like tail, and rear-positioned nostrils all point to a body adapted for underwater hunting. More importantly, Spinosaurus and T-Rex never lived at the same time. Their iconic fight in films is pure fiction, from a glorified prehistoric war god to a specialized fish hunter. This drastic contrast makes it the undisputed #1 on this list. So in reality, ancient giant creatures were often not as invincible as legends suggest. Sometimes being the biggest just meant eating more, and being the fiercest just meant looking scary. Earth's 4.6 billion year evolution shows us size is a gift, but adaptation is the real skill. Do you know any other seriously overrated prehistoric giants? Let me know in the comments.